Hi guys, it's your one and only most favorite teacher. On this session, we'll be basically dealing with Euclidean geometry for grade 8. Now, as you can see here on the question, that's saying determine the values of the unknown. So we're gonna basically look at finding the values of the unknown. Now, with regards to this, we can see that we are having parallel lines there. So since we're having actually parallel lines, we can start by calculating the values of the unknown as follows. So I'm just gonna say angle C. I'm gonna say angle C is equals to angle ADE. It's equals to angle ADE. So angle C is equals to angle ADE. So when you show them on the diagram, these are gonna be the following angles which are equal. So angle C is this one, this angle right there. It's gonna be equals to that angle. And it's gonna be corresponding angles equal. So it's gonna be corresponding. It's gonna be corresponding angles are equal, right? So we'll write corresponding angles are equal because you can actually see that you're having parallel line. Then after that, you are gonna substitute. So with regards to the value of C, you can see that C is equals to 37. So we're gonna have 37 degrees. It's equals to then angle ADE is represented by small letter m right there. Then you'll conclude and therefore and say therefore angle M is equals to 37 degrees. So our angle M is supposed to 37 degrees right there. Then after getting 37 degrees, we're gonna say in the following triangle, in triangle what? In triangle ADE, in triangle ADE, we know that here, even if they didn't write anything, this smaller angle here, this small box is gonna be represented by 90 degrees because perpendicular means at right angles. At right angles means 90 degrees. So how basically you're gonna write this? You're gonna simply say angle ADE plus angle DAE plus angle AEB. Angle A, it's angle ADE, yes, plus angle DAE plus angle AED. Angle AED is gonna be equals to 180 degrees. So this is gonna be sum of angles in a triangle. So remember that each and every statement should be having a reason there. You can write sum of angles of a triangle, just like that, right? And as you continue from here, you are now gonna substitute. So with regards to angle ADE, our angle ADE is given by angle M. So we'll write angle M plus, then our angle DAE is gonna be represented by 90 degrees plus our angle AED is gonna be equals to what? Angle N, right? Then you're gonna say it's equals to 180 degrees. Now here we recently got the value for what? We recently got the value of M being 37 degrees. So you're gonna say 37 degrees plus, then we're gonna say 90 degrees here plus the value of N which we want, right? It's equals to 180 degrees. Now the next step here, what we are going to basically do, you're gonna add 37 plus 90, right? So remember here, you're gonna start by saying angle N, right? Plus, then when you add 37 plus 90, it gives you 127 degrees. It's equals to 180 degrees. Now from here, we're gonna say angle N is equals to, then we'll write 180 degrees, right? And then we take positive 127, we transpose it on the other side, it changes the sign to become minus 127 degrees. Then therefore, size of angle N is gonna be represented by 53 degrees. So our size of angle N right there, it's equals to 53 degrees. Remember this 53 degrees is this smaller yana N, right? And one thing that also is very important from here that you can see, you know that sum of angles in a straight line is what? It's 180. So I'm gonna say angle N plus P or angle P plus N is gonna be equals to 180 degrees, right? So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna say angle N plus P angle N plus P is going to be equals to what? Angle N plus P is going to be equals to 180 degrees. Why are we saying it's 180 degrees? It's because these are adjacent angles on a straight line, right? So it's very important that each and every statement is accompanied by the reason. And then after that, you are now going to substitute. So the value of angle N, we got 53 degrees. That will be us writing 53 degrees plus the size of angle P, which is unknown, is equals to 180 degrees. Now the next step, I'm going to say the size of angle P is equals to, then I'm going to write 180 degrees. Then you take positive 53, you transpose it that side, it changes the sign to become negative 53 degrees. Therefore, as you are subtracting 180 minus 53, it means to say the size of angle P is going to be what? It's going to be 127 degrees, right? So that's how we get the size of angle P there. So it means that the size of angle P that we got there, it represented by what? By 127. Now, just because of we are having parallel lines, I want to show you something that you must actually do from here, right? So now, with that being said, it means to say we're going to look at what? We're going to look at the following. So we're going to look at the following in order for us to calculate the size of angle Q. So remember, they told us about parallel lines to say this line that you're seeing here that I'm highlighting, the green color, is going to be parallel to that line, right? So these two lines are parallel. This line and this line right here, they are parallel. So since they are parallel, you have an understanding that it's a must that angle N here must be equals to what? To this angle Q right there. Do you see? So with that being said, it means that here, I'm going to say what? Here, I'm going to continue and simplify the following. I'm going to say angle N, it's equals to what? It's equals to angle Q. So why am I saying the size of angle N is equals to angle Q? It's because of these are what? These are corresponding angles. So we can see that the corresponding angles that are what? They're equal. And then with that being said, remember we did calculate the value of N, of which we got 53 degrees, right? And then we're going to say 53 degrees is equals to the size of angle Q. Then therefore, you can write it properly like angle Q is equals to what? It's equals to 53 degrees. Now, that's how basically you're going to solve the size of angle Q, right? But remember that in maths, there are many ways to calculate. Now, another concept in which you can basically be looking at finding the size of angle Q, it's you saying in triangle ABC, it's you now stating to say in the following triangle, you can just say in triangle ABC. Now, in triangle ABC, we know that the size of sum of angles in a triangle is what? It's 180 degrees, right? So I'm going to say angle A plus B plus C. Angle A plus B plus the size of angle C, it must give me 180 degrees. Why is it that it gives me 180 degrees? Is because of these are sum of angles in a triangle. So it's sum of angles of a triangle. So always sum of angles in a triangle, they're going to give you what? 180 degrees. Now you substitute the size of angle A being 90 degrees, right? Plus the size of angle B, it's represented by small letter q that we want, plus the size of angle C, it's represented by 37 degrees right there. It's equals to 180 degrees. Remember, this is an alternate method that I'm actually showing, right, to get Q. So it's an alternative. It's an alternative method that I'm showing you in order to get the size of angle Q right there. And then you're gonna say angle Q plus, then you're gonna add the two angles being 90 plus 37. So you're gonna say 90 plus 37 degrees. What are you gonna get? You're gonna get 127 degrees. So you say 127 degrees, it's equals to, then that should be 180 degrees. And then from here, you're gonna say angle Q, it's equals to, then you write 180 degrees, and then you take positive 127, we transpose it on the other side. Remember that when we transpose it on the other side, it changes the sign to become -127, right? And therefore, the size of angle Q. So you can see that it's going to be what? It's going to be 180 degrees minus 127 degrees. That should be also giving 53 degrees. So grade 8, this is how basically we solve this what? This geometrical, right? That basically they actually gave us in order for us to do what? To simplify it by just calculating the size of the unknown. It's a one and only maths favorite teacher once again. Stay tuned for more.